Oh, hi there! In May 2022, the Lost Media Wiki released the 5th entry in their On the Hunt series, a project highlighting select pieces of lost media in hopes that the added attention will lead to new discoveries. Entry 5 focused on the infamous Slam Fest, the 1999 Smash Bros. Wrestling live stream that still remains lost to this day despite the countless hours that have been poured into it. They followed this up in July with On the Hunt 5.5, focusing on the lost Breaking Bad game, Walt's Warning. But Walt's Warning is actually a sequel of sorts to Walt's Wisdom, which is also partially lost, both of which I want to talk about today. These Flash games were made by the development company Ralph, who worked on promotional tie-ins for shows like Stranger Things, Black Mirror, Arrested Development, and Mr. Robot. Walt's Wisdom came out in 2008, and Walt's Warning the following year, both serving to promote the show. While they are labeled games, and that's what I'll be referring to them as, calling them an interactive movie might be more apt. The game asks the player to enter personal information like their name, age, location, etc., and a customized video plays, performed by Bryan Cranston's Walter White. Let's start with Walt's Wisdom. This one takes place near the end of Breaking Bad's pilot episode. Walt is frantically packing money as sirens close in. He gets a phone call from the player, and based on the personal information provided, Walt gives you a personalized message. I'll play an example.
Jeez, Michael. You have really bad timing, you know that? Look, you don't know me, but my name is Walter White, and you may be the last person I ever speak to. You see, someone you know sent me this.
They tell me you're a time waster, that you're not living life to its fullest out there in Wisconsin.
That you waste too much time sitting by this computer. Well, I let life pass me by too. 50 years before I could truly say I am awake. Look, you're only in your 30s, you still have time to change. So whatever you can do, or want to do, or dream that you can do, start doing it right away, because there is nothing more dangerous in life than not living. And don't be like me, be yourself. Good luck.
This level of customization is pretty cool. The fact that Bryan Cranston took the time to voice so many possible lines is really impressive, and the customized visual at the end is a nice touch, even if there are some really obvious audio quality changes and weak video transitions by today's standards. And despite the superb attention to detail in the series proper, this Flash game wasn't held to the same standard. I tried to pinpoint the exact moment it could have taken place in the pilot episode, but nothing really lines up. Since Walt is leaving with his gun, seemingly ready to shoot as he hears sirens approaching, so this means it takes place right before the iconic shot of Walt pointing a gun towards the sirens. But he isn't wearing a gas mask during Walt's Wisdom, and in the pilot, at this point, the RV was full of poisonous gas that required him to wear a mask. So it must be after he realizes the sirens are just fire trucks and not the police. But then why is he leaving with his gun ready to shoot? You see, there's really no perfect place Walt's Wisdom fits. So it's confirmed just to be non-canon and a bit of promotional fun. Because there are so few videos on the internet, we don't really know how many variations were recorded by Bryan Cranston for Walt's Wisdom. But we do have some idea for its follow-up, Walt's Warning. Walt's Warning is a bit of a spiritual successor, released in 2009 to promote the show's second season. The game was released to immediate praise from fans and critics. It even got a couple nominations at the 14th Annual Webby Awards. The Season 2 extras include a behind-the-scenes video of the making of Walt's Warning, detailing the sheer amount of effort that Bryan Cranston went through, recording thousands of lines to make the experience as immersive as possible. Like I said before, the games are more like an interactive movie, and while you can only interact with Walt's Wisdom before the game, Walt's Warning allows for more freedom, even if it is just a little bit more, allowing players to upload their own photos that are incorporated into the video, and allowing camera control that influences the ending. Focusing on Walt's gun to the right leads to him knocking the player out with it, and by focusing on the chemistry set to the left, he'll use a chemical mixture on you. It's not clear when or where Walt's Warning takes place, but I would guess it's sometime during the Season 2 episode 4 Days Out, when Walt and Jesse spend a few nights cooking in the desert. But Jesse is nowhere to be seen in this game. As the title suggests, Walt warns the player after stumbling upon his cooking operation, and this works in spectacular contrast to the words of encouragement in Walt's Wisdom. It really shows his transformation between seasons 1 and 2. Here's an example of Walt's Warning.
Why did you come out here? What is your name?
Wake up, Chris.
Wake up. You know, my wife is pregnant with a baby we neither intended nor can afford. My 15-year-old son has cerebral palsy, and within 18 months, I will be dead. You have no idea the sacrifices I have made for this family. So don't imagine for a second that I wouldn't do everything within my power to stop you from screwing it all up. You so much as breathe a word about what you saw here today. Have I made myself clear? You just can't take your eyes off that, can you? Huh? What a good look. What would you do even if you got a hold of it, huh? It's a prop. It shoots blanks. I borrowed it from our high school drama department. Or should I say, stole it.
Good night, Chris.
Just like Walt's wisdom, we only have a few videos of Walt's warning posted online. One of the few surviving videos uses a still from the viral Leave Britney Alone video, which even at the time was a 2-year-old reference. Along with the behind-the-scenes video from the Season 2 extras, the game's developer, Ralph, uploaded early storyboards showing that the game was originally meant to take place in Jesse's basement.
You use your mouse to look left and right and realize that you're being held captive in Jesse's basement.
And the player would have been some sort of accomplice to Walt and Jesse's operation, who makes a mistake and is tied up and interrogated by Walt. Sources vary on when these games went missing. There are claims that it was lost when Flash was discontinued on December 31st, 2020, but as early as 2015, the Breaking Bad subreddit reported that the games were unplayable and considered lost media. So what can we do to find these lost games? Currently, we have the game's .swf files found through the Wayback Machine, but it doesn't contain the full game. Right now, our best chance of finding these lost Breaking Bad games is if someone played them back in the day and somehow still has the files cached on their old computer. And while it seems unlikely that someone would still have these kind of files on an old computer, lost media has been found in this manner before, and it's currently the best we have. Shout out to my top tier Patreon supporters, Vinny Cataldo, Edgar Vega, Miss Dana, MD the Dude, and Odesta Honeycrisp. Thank you. This is Mike with All Things Lost. I'll see you soon.
Your vision blurs, the sound distorts, and a white mist fills your eyes. This takes you to the end screen.
Oh, and stay out of the desert.